Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to my short video lesson today, and welcome to my YouTube channel. And in the today video lesson, I will share with you all about the old point. But this in this old point is going to be continued from uh, the 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 old point last week. Okay. And in this today video, before I let you know to the next point, I have some question to ask you. So my question is, what happened in Britain North American colonies? Who can answer? Can you pause the video for a second and answer together? Okay, the event that happened in Britain North American colonies, it was the revolutions. Yeah, it was the revolution. And also it happened in 1776 and also in France in 1789. Yeah. So and I need to ask you some vocabularies, technical words. So yeah, the first, what is a a class of people who hold high social rank? Yeah, a a class of people who hold social ranks. What is it? That is called aristocracy, right? Aristocracy. That is called a class of people who hold high social rank. And the next one about overthrow. What is overthrow? Overthrow is meant to defeat or remove someone from power using force. That in our language it means tumle or durmlum. Yeah. And the next one is mm, this one here. Ferociously, ferociously means frightening or violent. And the next one, a revolution, a revolutionary, involved in or relating to a revolution. That is called a revolutionary. And the next one, overrun. What is overrun? If unwanted people or things overrun, they fill a place quickly or in a large numbers. That is called overrun. Here. Yeah. And the next one is initial response. What is it, initial response? It means in our language, catch like ball. Yeah. And about formidable. Formidable causing you have to fear or respect for something or someone because they are large, powerful, or difficult. It means quite. Yeah. And the next one, patriotism. Patriotism, the feelings of loving your country more than any others or being proud of it. That is called Snaha Mitapum. Yeah. That's all for the revision in the old point. Now take a look to the next. Come on here. So today's point is start from although. Yeah. Before everyone read also try to understand in this text, please take a look first to the vocabulary. Middle class. Yes, middle class. Middle class, a social group that consists of well-educated people such as doctors, lawyers, and teachers who have good jobs and are neither very rich nor very poor. It means in our language មិនមានមិនក្រមានថាឋានៈកណ្ដាល Yes. And the next one, inclusion. Inclusion, cả đạmចូល. Inclusion, cả đạmចូល. It serves, yeah, serves a native or inhabitant of Serbia. Yeah, Serbia.ជនជាតិ Serbia. Yeah, ជនជាតិ Serbia. And acknowledge, acknowledge. Acknowledge, it means to accept, admit, or recognize something or the truth or existence of something. That is called acknowledge. It means in our language, the squall. Yes. And the next one, coin. Its verb is not in nouns. To invent, to invent a new word or expression, or to use one in a particular way for the first time. That is called coin. It means បង្កើតឡើង same fashion. Yeah, same fashion. It means the same way. Same fashion. វិធីតែមួយវិធីដូចគ្នារបៀបតែមួយ Yeah. And the next one, claim. To ask, yes, to ask for something of values because you think it belongs to you, or because you think you have a right to it. ទាមទារ claim. Yeah, claim. Interact, interact. អន្តរកម្ម interact. Yeah. This one, tacit support. Tacit support. Tacit support. Tacit, if we talk only to tacit, it means to understand without being expressed directly. That's called tacit. We pronounce it tacit here. Tacit. Yeah, tacit. Tacit support, គាំទ្រទាំងស្រុង It means គាំទ្រទាំងស្រុង Yeah, tacit support. And in charge. Yeah, in charge. Responsibility for controlling or caring for something. ទទួលខុសត្រូវ Yeah. And wage war for the sake of glory. Yeah. ធ្វើសង្គ្រាម wage war ធ្វើសង្គ្រាម And for the sake of glory ដើម្បីភាពរុងរឿង Yeah. For the sake of glory ដើម្បីភាពរុងរឿង Attune to the aspiration. Attune to the aspiration. It means in our language សមនឹងសេចក្តីប្រាថ្នា Yeah. And the next one, perpetual. Perpetual, never ending or changing. Changing. ជារៀងរហូត Perpetual, never ending or changing. ជារៀងរហូត And the next one, assumptions. Assumptions, something that you accept as true without question or proof. Yeah, or proof. ការសន្មត់ assumption. Yeah. And quite feasible. Feasible អាចធ្វើទៅបាន And uncharacteristically, in a way that is not typical of a particular person or thing. That is called uncharacteristically. And the next one here, capitalize. Capitalize, it means to supply money to your business so that it can develop or operate as it should. Yeah, ដាក់ដើមទុន capitalize. It works, capitalize. And quest, a long search for something that is difficult to find or an attempt to achieve something difficult. ដំណើរស្វែងរក Yes. And desk here, desk to hit something with great force, especially causing damage. Yeah, it means ធ្វើឲ្យបាត់បង់ or រលាយសូន្យ yes, and lethal. Yes, lethal. Lethal is able to cause or causing that's extremely dangerous. បណ្ដាលឲ្យស្លាប់ អាចបណ្ដាលឲ្យស្លាប់ lethal. Entirety, the whole of something ទាំងមូលទាំងស្រុង anxious, yeah, anxious, worried and nervous អន្ទះសាររសាប់រសល់ and the next one aggressive, determined to win or succeed and using forceful action to win or to achieve success. Aggressive ឈ្លានពានបំពេញ yeah. Preeminence, more important or better than others. ភាពលេចធ្លោ yeah. And the next one, aerial bombardment. I mean an air attack on the ground or naval target ការវាយប្រហារតាមដែនអាកាស yeah. ដល់ទម្លាក់គ្រាប់បែកអញ្ចឹង yes. Aerial bombardment, yeah. ការវាយប្រហារតាមដែនអាកាស and Jews mean ជនជាតិ yeah, ជនជាតិឈ្មោះ and the next one here, exterminate, yeah. Exterminate mean destroy completely សម្លាប់ចោលឬក៏បំផ្លិចចោល exterminate, yeah, exterminate. And the next one, genocide, the murder of whole groups of people, especially a whole nation, race or religious group. អំពើប្រល័យពូជសាសន៍ yes, genocide, it has no s, it's original word of this word, it has no s and in e, this word. And the next one is superpower, very powerful and influential nation មហាអំណាច yeah. Superpowers មហាអំណាច អំណាចខ្លាំងក្លាអញ្ចឹង អំណាចអស្ចារ្យ yes, មហាអំណាច and proxy, authority given to a person to act for someone else, such as by voting for them in an election or the person who this authority is given to. តំណាង proxy, yeah, តំណាង thank you. So that's all for this difficult for everybody. So now it's time to read the whole text. Start from Although here at this point. Yes, please take a look together. Although the nationalist revolutions of 1848 were defeated by the political establishment, the sentiments themselves were impossible to control. Across Europe, an increasingly prosperous middle class demanded inclusion in the political system, and their demands were increasingly expressed through the language of nationalism. The Finns wanted an independent Finland, the Bulgarians an independent Bulgaria, the Serbs an independent Serbia, and so on. Yeah, so all of these countries need independence in their country. In 1861, Italy too long divided into separate city-states and dominated by the church. Yes, the same that in the past time, ancient times, about the Europe. Yes, in the European country, this Europe, uh, there are two, yes, in the world there are two superpower, we can say that, uh, has influence, yes, has influence to the a lot of country in the world. They have like a church and the king, and we can say the emperor, yeah, become a unified country and an independent nation. Yet it was only with the conclusion of the First World War in 1918 that self-determination was acknowledged as a right. After the First World War, most people in Europe formed their own nation states. As a result of a nationalist revolution, the European international system became, for the first time, truly international. Yes, this is for the first time truly international from the European international system. Yes, that is well the Westphalian system. I think that everybody have learned this word, this Westphalian system already. Why do why does it call why is it called, sorry, why is it called Westphalian system like this? And concern a relation between states, world affairs. In the 19th century, increasingly came to concern relations between nation states. In fact, the word international itself was coined only in 1783. Yes, this word, remember here, this word international uh, was coined in only in 1783 by the British philosopher Jeremy Bentham. Yes, Bentham. And also here he is he was the philosopher of the British. His name is Jeremy Bentham. In most respects, however, the international system continued to operate in much the same fashion as the Westphalian interstate system. Nation-states claim the same right to sovereignty, which meant that they were formally equal to each other. Together, they interacted in an anarchical system in which power was decentralized and wars were a constant threat. That the addition of the nation changed the nature of the interaction in crucial ways. For one thing, leaders who ruled their country without at least the tacit support of their national communities were increasingly seen as illegitimate. Yeah, illegitimate. Or we pronounce it illegitimate. This also meant that newly created nation states such as Italy and Germany were authentically regarded as legitimate members of the European community of nations. They were legitimate since the people in theory at least were in charge. There were also new hopes for world peace, welcoming which war for the sake of glory or personal gain. A people is believed to be more attuned to the aspirations of another people. Inspired by such hopes, liberal philosophers devised plans for how a perpetual peace could be established for one considerable time. These assumptions seem quite feasible. Yeah. The 19th century, or more accurately, the period from 1815 to 1914, was indeed an uncharacteristically peaceful period in European history. At the time, Great hopes were started with the increase in trade, as Adam Smith pointed out in the Wealth of Nations 1777. A nation is rich not because it has a lot of natural resources, but because it has the capacity to manufacture things that others want. In order, to capitalize on this capacity, you need to trade, and the more you trade, the wealthier you are likely to become. When the quest for profit and market shares has become more important than the quest for neighboring state territory, world peace would naturally follow. In a world in which everyone is busy trading with each other, no one can afford to go to war. By the 20th century, most of these liberal hopes were dashed. Yeah, in the 20th century, most of these liberal hopes were dashed. Yes, uh, they were damaged. Yeah, as the First World War demonstrated, nation-states could be as violent as the early modern states. In fact, nation-states were far more lethal, not least since they were able to involve their entire population in a war effort together with the entirety of its shared resources. The pitiful quest for profit and market share had now replaced the anxious quest for the security or the aggressive quest for preeminence. In the Second World War, the industrial might of the world's most developed nations was employed for military ends, with aerial bombardments of civilian population, including the dropping of two uh, atomic bombs on Japan. Between 1939 and 1945, over 60 million people were killed, around 2.5% of the world's population. The figure included uh, the 6 million Jews exterminated by Germany in the Holocaust, which was one of the worst genocides in recorded history. After the Second World War, the military competition continued between the United States and the Soviet Union. This was known as a Cold War since, and also everyone has known this here in it means in our language you have known the meaning of this Cold War already. You studied in the old point for two yeah two last week. Yeah, for the two last week. Since the two superpowers never engaged each other in direct warfare, but they fought several wars by proxy, such as those in Korea and Vietnam. So thank you for listening, and try to read it yourself at home. If you have the same as I always mention in each week, uh, means everyone have trouble with about this, you can ask me by putting your question into the Telegram groups. Okay, goodbye. See you. Good luck.